And you guys are doing some awesome stuff on the give back side. And tell us about Dreams for All and what you guys are doing.
Thousands upon thousands of people don't have beds to sleep on. Every mattress store in this room right now, I bet you 95% of them, when they pick up a bed, they're taking the old mattress back. And I bet you most of those are going to say, yeah, we throw it in the trash, or we take it to the dump, or we put it on the side of the building. What we all have in common is we're all touching that used bed. All I did was do something about it.
Welcome into the Independent Thinking Podcast. This is your host, Rob Stott. Well, we were together in Dallas for PrimeTime. We had the chance to connect with a member who you've likely seen him if you've been to PrimeTime or are active on our social media channels, but Keith Moneymaker, the president, and this is a phenomenal, I love his name, and I also love his title, president and mattress therapist for Sweet Dreams Mattresses More, down in North Carolina. And Keith is a guy that's passionate about what he does, passionate about the mattress business, but in addition, passionate about a foundation that he started called the Dreams for All Foundation that, is a really unique, I don't want to simplify it, but the way he describes it, he even calls it simple himself, just to be able to take the business model of buying and selling mattresses and the delivery process and, taking that old mattress out of a home and what happens with it. He's basically built a nonprofit around taking those old mattresses and making sure they get into the hands and homes of those who need them most. And just something that, is really cool to see his passion sort of seep into what he does as a retailer and just as a person in general, honestly. And, neat to be able to sit down with him at PrimeTime and hear directly from him about, how he's built that foundation, around his business and what he's doing to share the message with others as well. So a cool story and one that, been a long time coming on the podcast, but, nice to be able to do it in person at PrimeTime and, talk face-to-face with Keith. So had that conversation and excited to share it with you here now on the Independent Thinking Podcast.
All right, we are back on the Independent Thinking Podcast. You can laugh. It's all right to laugh. We're here at PrimeTime. We're having a good time. Let the people at home know we're having a good time. Mr. Keith, I love your name, by the way, Keith Moneymaker.
Yeah.
Man, we've engaged a lot on social media, but, first time here on the podcast. So first of all, appreciate you joining Sweet Dreams Mattresses More and the Dreams for All Foundation.
Right.
Joining us here at PrimeTime. And, what we got a lot to dive into, but first of all, reaction to what's going on here. You having a good time?
Yeah. Times are great. I'm grateful to have a good staff. I get distracted easily. It's not a good trait of mine. So
sure.
My manager gives me a list. All right, just got to place all these orders at these places. You only need to do X, Y, and Z, and then because I come here to socialize and network, and trying to word of mouth for our charity operation and really grow my charitable efforts and try to get other people involved in our industry more than just coming here to do business. So it's a relationship building aspect for me.
Yeah, and you're in North Carolina, right?
Yep,
So
Pinehurst, Southern Pines area, an hour south of Raleigh.
Okay.
A lot of people know it for golf.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Well, I mean, that's what big PGA events happen at Pinehurst, right? It's a hopping area for that sport. But
well, you hopefully make some money if you talk about it enough on the podcast.
Right? Hey, sponsorship opportunity. Let me get a round. Just a round. That's all I need now. So how's business there in that area?
Business is great. The area is growing. A lot of moving parts. I mean, it's kind of like that sweet little honey spot. Everybody was a secret, and then eventually, 5-6 years ago, that secret kind of got out. And people. We're by Fort Bragg. We're an hour south of Raleigh. We're 2 hours from the beach. We're 3 hours from the mountains. And it's a very nice area. It's an affluent area. It's growing. It's blossoming. We have 6 different downtown areas people can go to. I mean. And then the golf is growing crazy, so it's turned into a big investment property area too. So all around, the area economy is doing well. Not in the aspect of, people that can't afford $1,200 minimum rent, which is a problem in a lot of places. But it's going good.
No, that's all. Well, and walk us through the store itself. What operates? One store operation? Or, So what's it like walking into your business, and what's the customer see? What's that experience like there? I mean, we're here in Dallas talking about customer obsession, right? So things we're doing to elevate that experience. What is that experience like, at Sweet Dreams and More, Mattresses More?
So the customer obsession, as far as from a personal standpoint, to me, means just what I've been preaching and doing the past, I'd say 6, 8, 10, 12 years. We've been in business 21 years, but my end game is not necessarily customer obsessed, but it's people obsessed, and it's doing the right thing by your community.
Yeah.
And by that naturally happening, people will flock and support your business and build an amazing network and support system for it.
Yep.
And yes, a lot of those people are customers, but just by doing right by the community, you create so many more customers by doing that.
Yeah.
So if you have a business in a town and you want the town to support your business, then what are you doing to support your community?
No, I love that. How long have you been in the business?
Family business, 21 years. So
Okay.
I took it over about 12 years ago.
How'd you get into the business?
So parents
was it-
had a used furniture store
Okay.
that burned down back
Oh,
in
wow.
2001. That was kind of their livelihood. They bought and sold like used furniture, about housefuls and
Wow.
stuff. And the roofer was working on a fire on a windy day and caught the roof on fire. And the roof, when the roof fell in, they had to knock the walls down because it was that freestanding style brick. So whatever wasn't burned was crushed.
Wow.
But towards the end of that, it was one of the biggest fires in Moore County. So towards the end of that, though, before the business burned down, they were selling bedroom sets, like, used furniture. You're typically
Sure.
getting antiques, and you need mattresses to go with it. So he started selling like lower end product. And so when the business burned down, he wanted to do something different. And there was
Yeah.
only like one little operation in town at the time.
Wow.
So we opened a small Simmons only mattress store with about 14 beds on the floor in 2002.
Okay.
And so we kind of progressed from that to where we are today. So
I always love asking this, especially the generational businesses. We obviously run across so many of them here. Always, like, did you have an option with retail? Like,
I had an
was it-
option. Yeah, I mean,
You see, some do, some don't. And like, even the ones that don't, did have an option, they find themselves.
it was pretty
back in the
pretty
business.
straightforward.
Yeah.
I think it was silly not to take that opportunity. I mean,
Yeah.
I think there's plenty of places for kids to grow into the parents' business if the parents are involving their kids early enough in the right ways and not forcing
Yeah,
them to do
absolutely.
things, teaching them just basic morals. No matter what type of business it is, if you're doing right by people, by having respect for people, by doing good for others, by having good business practices, I don't think it matters. I think your kids will follow in those steps a lot of times if you naturally practice those respectable business habits, and parents will kids will look up to want to do that. And maybe in their own way, maybe it might not be your own business, but I guarantee if you start them early enough and not in a sense of not forcing them to do anything,
Right.
it just naturally happens. It naturally happened for me.
Was there a moment that you realized that do you remember that aha, or was it sort of gradual?
I always wondered why I like selling mattresses, and it was never mattresses. It was I like dealing with people, and I like talking, and I like fostering relationships, and I like earning people's trust. That's a big thing to me.
Yeah,
So if they're going to trust me to buy a big $3,000 white rectangle, I mean, that's some serious trust building aspects. So
Absolutely.
And then eventually I love the mattresses too. So
Yeah. Well, one of the things I think that stands out about you guys, and of course it's the give back stuff that we're going to get into, but before we do that, anyone that knows you and follows you, you have quite the social media presence. And I mean, they might have thought I was about to, I could have gone quite the beard, but the beard's just part of the social media
all on
presence. It
camera?
feels
Can
like,
we fit it
can
all
you
in
get it
there?
all? I think it's
Okay,
all
yeah.
in frame. I love it. It's part of you. It's one of those things. But the social media presence, talk about, what it's been like getting involved in that way and doing the things that you do on social media to promote the business and what you guys are doing.
So it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to have your phone in your pocket and be so you have to know how to use your phone as a tool and to have notifications turned
Yep.
off and to have auto replies set and to have timers and limitations. And your phone could be your worst enemy or your best friend depending on how you set it up. It's set up for success. It's made to be easy, but it's set up for success. You can get rid of all the apps on the home screen, and now they created an app library. You can't delete that. So it's you really have to be conscious, and I'm guilty of it all the time, being on my phone too much. But it brings into the social media aspect. It's a balance because I have I have Facebook and Instagram, and on each of those I have Dreams for All Foundation.
Yep.
I have Sweet Dreams Mattresses More, and I have my personal one, and I have a TikTok, and I have a YouTube, and I have a LinkedIn.
Hold on. your phone and my phone must look a lot alike.
I
we're
have
recording on it, that's
I have
why.
0 notifications turned on for all those, though.
Wow. Yeah.
So I don't have notifications turned on. That's a big, important thing for me. Setting things up with auto replies is a big thing for me. But as far as posting, I'll get into kicks. I've had a social media person before, but I've been successful, I think, because people can trust the face on the screen. So we've often considered rebranding with I have another shirt I brought with me, rebranding with kind of a caricature of me. I mean,
That's
think
awesome.
of Fred's Beds or Mattress
Yeah,
Mac, places
absolutely.
like that. Think of the plumber down the street. A lot of these industries we have names like LG and these companies here. Those are bigger companies, but if you think of smaller companies, a lot of those service-oriented places, car dealerships tie their name to it.
Oh, absolutely.
That builds a lot of trust when you do that. So whether it's their name to it or a face to go with, like the generic name, it's tough. So it's tough to have a balance of all that.
Yeah.
I don't really have a secret sauce except for balancing.
Well, you know what it is? You're genuine. I think that's kind of what it is, right?
I can be a complete goofball. I have no show shame on some of the stuff I post. I mean, if you
it's everything from like workout TikToks and reels to like what you're doing in the community to give back.
People know you don't have to So right. You're a real person. Like, I'm a dad. I'm a father of 3. Right. I have to balance my life. I have to work out.
I'm pretty sure I've seen you in like an adult diper jumping on a mattress. Is that a thing?
And you saw me in an adult diaper jumping on a mattress. So I mean, you sure did.
There's no shame in
no, man.
Right? You know,
no limits. My dad's like, you need to take that down. I'm like, do
no.
I? That's 7,500 views on that reel, dude. I'm not taking that down.
That's incredible. That's awesome.
That was part 2. Wait till part 3.
Oh no.
Yeah, that diaper was from Amazon. It said large. It was not. So
that's incredible.
But I had to use packing tape to keep that on.
I can imagine. That's so awesome. But I mean, like that's the thing though, right? It puts. I think you said it, and it's funny because we meet here after I had an NLA at one of our educational classes, and one of the things we talked about in there is the idea of being genuine in your social media, right? And putting a face to your business because, I mean, obviously it's getting eyeballs and views, but from just a reputation standpoint, right? It's sort of humanizing you and making you someone that's approachable from the customer's perspective. And when they come in, they recognize you.
As we grow our businesses and stuff, people want that one-on-one connection. That's why they're not buying it online and they're coming into your store. So yes, I do believe having a great website, web front is important, but we transact zero on our website.
Right.
We drive people to come in the store, and it's probably the reason that I get personally bombarded for messages all the time. I got a text message, hey Keith, are you at the store today? I need to come get a queen bed for my daughter. That's a daily thing, man.
That's pretty cool.
It's a daily thing. It's not a bad problem to have.
Yeah.
I could probably just go through my phone and find somebody I want to sell a mattress to and probably remember our last conversation and probably geared towards that. And people trust me to do it. They don't question it. And so I try to really direct my marketing as knowledgeable and trusting in that. Also, talk about my staff and put my staff. You want people that work for you on your website. You want people want to see people that can be held accountable.
Right.
But also they can trust and build a relationship with. So, talking about my staff, taking care of your staff, not just money. It's not just money, even though they say it's not money. It's knowing what your staff, what their obsessions are and what their goals are outside of your work, even if they're not going to work for you in a couple of years. I mean, you have to know what makes them tick.
It's cool, because it's a culture thing, right? Is what it boils down to.
Yeah.
But it's also just a caring for your team, right?
Yeah.
Caring for the people around you. You're building a great team, which then builds that great culture and environment in your store. And of course, when you have that culture, it sort of permeates through the rest of what you do, and then the customer experience. So getting back to that, but. We could talk. I feel like we could talk we talked for a while already, but I want to get to the big thing here. And you guys are doing some awesome stuff on the give back side and that Dreams for All Foundation. So I don't want to steal You've been doing this for 6 years, right? So be the conduit. Something like that. It's been a while, right?
Been a long time.
Tell us about Dreams for All and what you guys are doing.
So, simply put, there's no it's pretty simple, actually. It's just doing the right thing by the businesses that we run. And again, like I said, if you want the community to support your business, what are you doing to support your community?
Right.
And in our industry, we're literally a home goods industry. These are the first things people come and buy when they move into a home.
Yeah.
What dignity do you have if you came out of a homeless situation and you get a house and you don't have furniture because you can't afford it, and now you got to sleep on the floor? So stuff like that, people coming in, just even when I wasn't 100% serious in the business early on, people coming in and like, oh, I've got like a $500 budget for a king set and for their kids, and they've got kids and stuff, and it's like, man, that really hits you as your salesperson. And so I would have nice used beds in the back all the time. So this is pre-charity. This would just happen randomly, and I was like, I got a nice bed. I'd offer like, hey, do you want a used nice bed? And they're like, it's like, well, how much? I'm like, nothing. You can have it. And just like everything just changed. And you do that more and more, and you have that power to, even though it's just a mattress, it is just that. It is just a mattress. So our third basic need is sleep. Where do you think our body recovers? Food, water, food, and sleep.
Yep.
Where do you think we sleep? We sleep on a mattress. people don't have beds to sleep on. Thousands upon thousands of people don't have beds to sleep on. So in our industry, every mattress store in this room right now, I bet you 95% of them, when they pick up a bed, if they are doing the delivery service, they're taking the old mattress back.
Right.
And I bet you most of those are going to say, yeah, we throw it in the trash, or we take it to the dump, or we put it on the side of the building. Or there are a few that I've met, very impressed, just they have a cool little program where they'll give it to a local church, or they'll call somebody. There's a few that'll sanitize them and sell them. There's a few that'll trash them. There's a few that recycle. There's a few that don't do their own deliveries. There's a wide variety. What we all have in common is we're all touching that used bed.
Right.
All I did was do something about it. So Hurricane Matthew hit Lumberton about 6-7 years ago.
Right.
And my buddy took a video driving around, and in front of every house after the water had gone away was a pile of wet furniture, and on top of that wet furniture was a used mattress, and you saw that completely down this whole street.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I get used beds back all the time. This is the time. I just made a Facebook post. I was like, hey, if you are moving back into a home in Lumberton from the flood, message me. I'll give you a mattress for free and bring it to you. Man, the power just the power of that. I think about that.
I see him on you. It's happening to me too. It's pretty cool, man.
So
that is awesome.
The power to do that early on, we just took beds. We had the trucks. We were already touching the beds. All we did was provide a mattress. I was already getting it. It cost me $0.
Right.
It cost us $0.
But all the good equity that raises and that does.
And then I started noticing and really paying attention to other things. Fire departments would come in to shop for mattresses with a really low budget. Most people would say, well, that's the government should fund them more. You know what? Most people would point their finger too. Why don't you not point your finger and do something about it?
Right.
So, and I do something about it.
Yeah.
And my doing something about it was I got some of my manufacturers to pitch in, or I had a local business help me cover some costs, and we've started providing fire departments mattresses, brand new mattresses. Man. And that was kind of another big thing we did. Then it was just like homeless shelters. And soon after that, my mentor, Mike, I was like, man, I've got this Dreams for All. I want to make this a charity, Dreams for All, period. Because no one should sleep on the floor, period.
Right.
That's simple. And we've got the power to do it as an industry of 15,000 mattresses going in the dump every single day.
Wow.
And the Mattress Recycling Council is only in 3 states.
Right.
We've got some serious caliber in this business. If we just got our heads out of our asses.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good.
Okay.
Hey, the passion's coming through, man. I love it.
And did the right thing.
Yeah.
And quit being lazy about it. Do something for other people. And there's a lot of admirable dealers and stuff in the room, but there's always a chance where we can do more and do better.
Yeah. No, I love
always
it.
Do more and do better.
The passion. Passion clearly comes through in what you're doing, man. It gets me fired up. And
when I started Dreams, when it came to fruition, Dreams for All, we made it a nonprofit in 2017. Yeah. It just became so obvious that this is what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
So I closed my second store last year. I don't really care to have another store. I make a great living with our one store and my family. I have no reason to have another store. There's nothing wrong with making money, but I feel there's a certain point now that I'm doing well enough and I've been doing fine that I can do a lot to give back tenfold. And so we were just kind of to fast forward a little bit. We were just the recipient of a 90 tractor trailer, $15 million product donation from a large internet brand that amped up our giving tenfold. I mean, we've been able to give 100 beds here, 100 beds there, to orphanages, camps, recovery homes. I mean, dude,
all over anywhere in need,
place.
Right?
And again, this is something that any dealer could do. So I've been really mind-boggled over this concept that why aren't we? And well, because it's tough. It's tough. It's a lot of logistics involved. So I've figured it out. I've got a marketing plan. I have branding. We have a playbook. We have digital assets. We have training videos that I want to offer this as something I can give to a dealer at no cost.
Right.
I want to give you everything. It's a teach a man to fish method. I want to give you everything to give back to your community and Dreams for All, and you partner, and you can take the credit. I show you how to talk about it, and not boast, self-boasting, but you talk to your customer. Imagine the customer shopping around.
Right. Because
it sets you apart. It sets you apart.
Yeah.
You talk to your sales team about it. The customer feels it. The delivery team talks about it. The customer feels it. I mean, it's...
And how about this too? Like, you as a business, you're doing that. The customer obviously knows coming to you that they're purchasing a mattress from you is making a difference, not just in their own home and buying a new mattress, but that used mattress is going somewhere and not being thrown away.
Yeah.
So it like not only for your own business as the retailer doing this, but you're putting your customer in a position where they can give back, whether they realize it or not.
The customer's doing it. The customer, and it's just like creates this beautiful circle. The customer supports your business. You give a mattress back to a local family. The customer feels good. The salesperson feels good. The store the store feels good. You keep the mattress out of the landfill. It's the right thing to do. It doesn't cost you hardly anything to do it.
That's awesome, man. Well, and the cool thing, having a podcast means we've got a description at the bottom here, video version of this obviously on YouTube, and we'll have all the links for that right where we can include all that. Dealers watching this, click on them, get the resources. I don't know if you got QR codes or anything like that. We can always throw one of those on here and make it happen so that, they know where to go. But if you want to tell them, where can they go to learn more about this?
Learn more about operation. My most proud thing is our website right now, dreams4all.org. You can go in there, and we literally set a dealer up to request a mattress. A local charity agency gets a private referral link, and if my local dealer in X state, they get that link to give to this customer, and that referral goes on our website. We've probably got 30 referral charities right now, and we're looking. I just want to keep growing because I want to make sure that not only every charity doesn't have to buy mattresses, but every people that are coming out of those situations have mattresses. So dreams4all.org, and I can talk about this all day, but dreams4all.org, and then you can find out pretty much everything about me on Instagram, Keith.Moneymaker, or my Facebook, Keith Moneymaker.
Or just follow Nationwide. We've been sharing his stuff all week. Like, he's there. You'll find him. He's
easy to find.
A hard man to miss, both in person and on social, man. Keith, we appreciate it. This is a lot of fun chatting. I love your passion. I love everything you're doing.
Thank you.
For this industry.
For getting me fired up, man.
Hell yeah. I love it, man.
We just signed 2 more dealers that are going to be bringing on Dreams for All out of state, and they're nationwide members.
There we go. All right. Things are happening. Be a part of the movement. And
be a part of the movement and do something for your community.
I love it.
That's bigger than yourself.
I love it. Keith, this was awesome, man. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of PrimeTime, and thanks for coming on.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Awesome. And thanks again to Keith. Like I said, just, clear by the end of that conversation that he is very passionate about what he does with that Dreams for All Foundation. So like we said, during the interview, more information in the description below. If you're watching this on YouTube, the links are down there. And, we appreciate him sharing that story with us and look forward to, seeing where they go in the years to come. So appreciate him. And as always, appreciate you listening to the Independent Thinking Podcast, and we'll catch you next time.